There we are. There we are. Cool. All right. So that's how you know that we're live these days. So that's cool. And I'll get my silly little preamble out of the way so that we can then lever it into the good shit, which is what this man has to say, which is, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to this edition of the Halcyon Show. I'm your host, Lauren Risey, but you don't care about that because today we welcome an accomplished live performer and esteemed battle rapper. He is a man with over a decade of experience performing for a whole host of promotions, both abroad and in the UK. He is a man with a fixation, nay, an obsession with people switching on kitchen appliances for him despite their inherent inconvenience. He has over 40 battles to his name, a penchant for quick replies, sharper delivery, and is renowned for his ability to turn around not just classic performances on a dime, but classic performances over time. And he won't rest until his hashtag becomes a full-blown Hollywood franchise. He is the former undisputed Don't Flop UK battle rap champion, but he will always be the UK's finest. It's the lyrical leviathan. It's Quill. Quill, sir.
Wow. What was the word after lyrical?
We had this one last. Leviathan.
Leviathan, yeah? What's that?
Man. Lyrical leviathan. It's like a boss at the end of a level in a fucking RPG game, like the giant kills everything.
Yeah, okay, boss. I like that. Okay, I didn't know I had over 40 battles as well, so that was educational. Great intro, thank you, sir.
That's all good.
I deserve that intro after having 40 battles, I think, as well. Do you know what I mean?
And that's the most we hear about me for the next sort of 45 to 60 minutes, because let me just set over very, very, very quickly. This conversation was spawned by all good things, a tweet. And it was as a result of that tweet, I prompted our guest today to say, hey, you want to talk about what's on your mind? And for once, he said, go on then. So, Quill, my friend, you tweeted recently about your discontent with something, and I want to just leave it to you now to basically
what was the tweet? I don't even remember. What did I say?
It was something about Lorne is the most important UK battle rap media member, and it's a shame and a travesty he's not doing more. Something like that. And I disagreed. We argued. And then we settled on, I am a legitimate legend, and we moved on. But then after that, you were tweeting, and basically, like, the scene's quiet. Like, at the moment, it's just, it seems like the volume is down on the scene across the sort of the spectrum. And it's funny because I was having this conversation with other people. Like, it just seems like from 2023, and the promise and the vibrancy and the fucking energy that was in the scene at the time, it doesn't seem to have built on it. It doesn't seem to have moved in a discernible direction upwards. I'm not saying it's gone down, but it felt like it was more palpable then than it is this year.
No, it has. Yeah, no, this year, that's exactly how I feel. I'll probably be the most hated person in UK battle rap by the end of this interview. So I've got a lot of worries. I feel like this is an emergency meeting. This is what we're doing. We're having an emergency meeting, right? But the only thing is, I have zero answers. I'm that guy. You know what I mean? I'm going to be pointing fingers. I'm going to be saying, look, this is going wrong, but I have zero answers, right? But I don't even know where we start. Maybe we should start with the positive, before we get into becoming the most hated.
I feel like where we could start maybe is, so the reason I invited you on the first time round was off the back of the Plug 3, and you were cutting promos, and everyone was fucking just, Quill's the man, and fucking he should be battling this person, they should be battling person. The next event, it's going to be fucking insane. And I'm not saying they didn't stick the landing for 23, because obviously Plug 4 was great. Don't Flop had another great year as well. They've since gone on, and Checkpoint 5, I was there. It was great. We reintroduced ourselves by me Muay Thaiing a beer out of your hand. It was great fun. But there are positives. So yeah, maybe we could start there. Maybe you could start with what you think is cognizant in your mind about what positives are in the air.
You are absolutely right, because the negative is what we're like seven months into the year, right? And last year I think we're missing the seasons at Premier Battles almost, right? That created matchups, created events, it created storylines. We'll get into that, but 7 months in, and we've had one big Don't Flop event, which is great. They're actually ahead of what they did last year, because they kind of just saved up and had the big birthday at the end, right? So they've had one big event, and then hopefully they'll do the birthday at the end of the year. Premier Battles haven't really had a big event yet, because we had the Twerk dropout, we had Rivers and Arc dropout, so that event just became almost like a standard event, I guess, right? Good battles, but it was a standard event. And then now we've got a big event. So I guess that's the positive, right? We got the Apex. Do you know the date off the top of your head?
It's the back end of August. I think it's the 28th or 29th of August. I know it's definitely after the 27th. That's for damn sure.
Right. So that's a positive, right? We've got Gemini, who is the Don't Flop champion, against Bizzo, who's the defending Premier Battles champion, right? You got Gemini, who's coming off a 5-year hiatus. He come back, he's run through the top division, he's battled your Bobby Rex, Rivers, Koj, myself for the Don't Flop title, taking that off me, and battled T-Top, and just been on an absolute tear. So you got this huge challenger contender in Gemini, and he's coming for both titles. And then you've got Bizzo Bond, who's been arguably, you know, up there with Tony D as the best champion in the UK that has been, right? He's gone over back to King of the Dot, battled Real Deal, battled an battled Tony D, defended his title, been an absolute, you know, what you would want in a champion, right? So we've got this huge UK battle. So that's a positive. That is we probably won't ever get that again. So that is an absolute positive. So if there's any reason to, you know, be happy, get your tickets. Couldn't sell that anymore, right? We got the return of Shocks, the Rebel, who I don't know if you've ever seen him live, or there'll be a lot of people that haven't even seen him battle. Wow. For me, I'm not quite. There's no one that really stands out. There's a couple people that I might want to battle, but Shocks is one of those people that just, when you get to the top tier of battling, like we're kind of demented, right? We want someone that's going to kill us. Like when you see somebody who's an absolute killer, you're like, I want to battle that guy because he's going to push me to be the best, right? And Shocks is just like somebody like that. I just know I'm going to be standing there watching Shocks perform and thinking, oh my God, I need to battle this guy because he will kill me. You know what I mean? And I can't wait to watch Shocks. The return, best return we could have had. And then you got Visual, who is probably one step away from being in the top tier bracket, and that one step is Shocks. That's in his way, really and truly. I mean, he's the Irish champion, he's defended it, he's gone from, you know, battling me a year ago in March, learning quite a few big lessons, to, you know, then, you know, growing, and you see him now beating people. He battled Villain, and there was a real good Villain as well, and he showed his level. So Visual is now there to almost becoming, you know, that next level. So big event. So positives, we do have a big event coming up. And then that's pretty much it for the positives at the moment. I mean, maybe we've got Don't Flop doing their tournament to see who's going to be the next challenger for the title against Gemini. I mean, it might be. Was it one of 4 names now? I think we're in the semi-finals. But if you was to be a betting man, if you was to guess, you'll probably say it's between Yunnan and Crow. But you know, there can easily be an upset. But you probably fancy Yunnan. But you know, Crow could easily take it. And then we've got the big birthday card, but we don't know how big that's going to be, right? That's pretty much the positives, I think. I don't know if am I missing any more positives at the moment?
I'd interject that the Short Circuit and some of the smaller events on Prem have gone some way to introducing some of the more casual fans to some of the new up and comers. Like Gaspuff, I would say, has made some pretty decent inroads in crossing over to, maybe not, obviously not top tier, but he's now more synonymous. I mean, he had a great showing at Checkpoint as well with Crow.
Ojo.
And yeah, I think, generally speaking, both promotions, I think, have gone some way in helping elevate some of the more not obscure, that's the wrong word, but some of the up and comers, some of the guys who you're not as familiar with, right? But it can be said, and this isn't a positive, I grant you, it can be said that they've not broached top tier status by a long shot. There's a lot that's going to need to happen before a lot of them are going to be excitable for someone like you, like a Bobby, like it go all the way to the top, right? And then these guys are viable contenders, right? And you mentioned Viz. Viz is probably the closest. And again, you don't have to go far back to go, yeah, but and look, I love Viz now. Okay, we're cool. I was there at Plug 3. It was a fucking evisceration, and it was really a promo for you and Shotty. But like, that's the turnaround in a year. Like that's where we've come from there to now, and that's kind of an indictment, because if the only person you can say in a year who's made any progress to bridging the gap between those two sets of battlers is Viz. That's
Right.
a lot of talent that aren't, making
I
progress.
fully agree. I mean, you might want to say Slim Buck, but he kind of, I don't know if he's developed, but he kind of just came out of nowhere and kind of made a statement there. And, hopefully we can see him pushing as well. I'd say Reverse also, but he's just disappeared this year. So, I mean, I hope to see him back soon, and I'm sure we will. But for the first half of the year, we haven't seen Reverse.
I
So,
mean, Reverse at the back end of last year I interviewed him and he was talking about, man, I've done a lot of turnaround and he didn't say burnt out, but he was as close as makes no difference to saying I'm burnt out. And yeah, I think the fact that he's not been where we're 7 months into a year and he's not been back. I think.
but I don't actually mind that if he comes back and he plays his card right, gets his right opponent, then it's actually quite a good little tactical layoff as well as being refreshing, right? Because you don't want to be in everyone's face, you don't want to battle every month. So I actually don't mind that. But yeah, like you said, slim pickings as to new faces and stuff. And Mav coming back, actually, Mav is one that could actually then push as well. But it is returns. It's like we're struggling so much that it is a lot about returns. Like this year, Lunacy's return is, without Lunacy's return this year, we wouldn't have done much this year. The return of Shocks the Rebel, as we said, that's probably one of the most exciting things. The return. We had the return of Sensor, although he's pulled out, which was another thing we could talk about. Battler's pulling out, but it seems like we're almost relying on returns now, and it's like. I mean, I should have made a list, but we could even go through it like now if you wanted. But if we go through the top 10, right, UK battlers, or even who we think sell tickets, right? We're struggling now to keep UK battle rap going with a handful of battlers, because you're gonna say we could list, like I said, we say top 10. We could list the top 10 of UK battlers, right? Probably 8 of those top 10 are ticket sellers. Even if we're being a stretch, some of them might only sell a few tickets, but people will buy tickets for them, right? And then some of them might even battle once a year. So then you're really and truly, you're kind of relying on like someone like Bobby Rex, who probably battles 3 times a year. So you're relying on him to sell tickets. You're relying on Gemini, who battles about 3. So that's 2 people that's holding it up. I'm not very active in the UK at the moment, so I'm not very, because I'm kind of distant from it, because I'm not too excited in the moment. So you can't really rely on me to sell any tickets. Same with Koj. Shuffle and Marlowe might battle once every year or 2 years. So really and truly now, as far as selling events, holding up events, we're struggling for names that are going to do that. And I think a lot of people almost kind of relying on the big names. Like, that's okay, the big names will headline and I'll jump on them. We're running out. We're running, like, people are going to, it won't be long till Gemini's fed up of it and Bobby's fed up of it, or Bizzo, and we're struggling. We're struggling.
Let me take you back to the beginning of the year then, because I was thinking about this, and I was thinking about it in the what if scenario, right? Because I mean, this is a sore spot for me, but the New Jersey Twerk stuff at the beginning of the year, right? I think now back to that, the ramifications of that event not being what it was promised, and obviously the exposure that it offers a lot of the guys that would have been on the card, right? That then not being there, the associate, because look, with all due respect, like the association with Shotty and Luna and Tony and like you said, Gem and all these guys, that's how you introduce audiences to new guys and familiarize and get them comfortable buying tickets to see them. Like, you're like, oh yeah, I saw so-and-so at an event, actually. He was wicked. Do you know what? I feel comfortable buying a ticket to go see him now because I know he's going to do great. Whereas, like you said, when you've got guys who you're pitching events to basically sell around just the one guy or just the one battle, and it falls through, or that person is, I mean, I'm not sure, maybe I'll think about it, and then it drags on and people lose interest. How do you navigate around it at the moment? What's the cure for that? How do you, because I don't know the answer to that. This is what I've been kicking the can down the street and trying to think of something where you go like, right, with a limited talent pool of people that can sell tickets, because you're right, I agree with you there. It can't be that way forever. You're going to have to turn that around one way or the other. How do you address that?
Right, and you're right. We need more stars. We need the promotion's been poor. We could talk about that, but first I want to say, like, it's no one's fault, right? There's like, the leagues have no budget. Like you said, the twerk dropping out, right? That has damaged, like you said, it damaged the event. We don't get the big Shotty horror battle that we want. You know, Shotty has to be selective, right? He listen, he has two options. He could have battled me or Gemini realistically, right? We have this huge UK battle, or he, to be honest, to be fair, is bigger, right? That he does a twerk battle that's even bigger, right? So, you know, he's rightfully picked the twerk battle, tried to give us all something big, this big event, and it hasn't happened. Now, like I said, because of that, now there's huge repercussions. It's not his fault. He's tried to do the right thing. He's tried to be Mr. UK and give us what, you know, what anyone would have done, right?
They put money down, man. You can't say any fairer than that. You know what I mean? They've apparently they've been running at a loss for the rest of the year. So
we've lost the event. We've lost out on a Shotty battle. We lost out on money, and that's happened twice. I think it got cancelled, right? So now Premier Battles has now suffered. The whole UK scene has suffered because of this one battler now. Rightfully or wrongfully, however they've done the business, they've gone for it and it's failed, right? So now they're trying to figure out, how can we now get money back to get battles again, big battles again. And you know, it might like, look at Don't Flop last year, right? They didn't have funding or anything. So what they've done is did small events all year. They did small battles, some on the boat, some on, you know, small events, and then they've done the big birthday battle, and then cool, success. He's obviously saved the money or whatever he's got from it, and obviously the hype and the buzz from that. Now we had the Lunacy event this year, and then hopefully another big one. So he's built up. He's had to kind of sacrifice the year, and it might have to be the same with Premier Battles. Have to sacrifice the first half of the year, or even the whole year, and then next year start doing these big events again. But yeah, financially, it's not there. I don't know. Also, if one or two things, if we're not really business savvy in the sense that we're not going out and finding people that can fund, like, a sponsor events. You know, how we're not finding companies that can sponsor events to then get their money back. We could do big events. Either we're not business savvy enough for that. We don't have the right business mind or team, or maybe companies just don't want to invest in UK battle rap, but they don't see their money coming back in it. So maybe it's just like, maybe it's just not there. But, you know, financially is a big one. Like I said, we're not earning money on YouTube now. So is there a different way we look at revenue? There's Rumble and stuff. Do we now just find a whole different, why are we so fixated on YouTube, man? If it's not giving us money, like, no one really cares. Do we care so much about views? All these things have to be, you know, looked at or answered, you know.
So you have a lot of credibility when you talk about this, because forget being a talented performer. The thing that always stuck out about you most for me was your penchant for promotion. You seem to have a knack with striking a chord with people and getting people's attention when they're not necessarily asking for it. It's all well and good walking into a shop and being sold to. It's another thing being on the outside while someone's about to take their business and you going, hey, do you know what you need? And they actually listen to you. You have that ability. If you're in their positions right now, okay, I'm not saying you fix it overnight, and I'm not saying it's only one idea, but let's say for the sake of argument, you go in and say, guys, at the moment, this is the thing I'd address first, and here's how I'd do it. Does anything come to mind to you in that respect?
Listen, this is where Briggsy clips me up and starts taking the mick out of me, because I'm clueless. I'm not the business guy. I'm just someone who rhymes words. But like, off the top of my head, man, it has to, you know, we have, you know, someone has to put on a suit, and we have to go door to door if we have to. No, but we have to find some sort of sponsor, some sort of company. I don't know how we do it. Like I said, I'm not the businessman, but yeah, there has to be a funding for it or something. Or like I said, I think it has to be a different avenue now. I think YouTube has to be gone now. If Rumble's paying or something like that, like I said, I don't have the answers. I'm just here to kind of express how I feel as a battler, as a fan, and, you know, I'm happy to kind of be the face that people can look at me as the villain for saying all these things if they want. But I've spoken to loads of battlers. I know they feel the same as well. It almost feels like, listen, there's too much talent in our scene. There's so much talent here. It almost feels like it's like, why are we still doing battle rap? Let's go fuck off and do something else. Let's all be streamers or something. Let's all become one team and do, because there's too much talent here. And all this talent is getting us a couple thousand views and no money. right? Whereas in
Couldn't
an
agree with you more.
alternative reality, we should be fucking minted, performing in front of fucking in arenas or whatever. Do you know what I'm saying? Other countries, look at Germany. Even Germany, listen, our country is doing it like it's so passionate about. Our community is so passionate about battle rap in our country, right? Like we do it right. We've got a great community. We've got the most talented people, great performers, lyricists. Yet when we go, like I go to Germany and they're selling out 1,300 whatever. Why? I almost feel like schools is a good one. I know, like I feel like year 9s, year 10s, they need to know about battle rap because that's our kind of. I almost feel like schools is a one. We need to tap into schools. This is such a weird way of, but I do. I feel like when I remember being in year 9, year 10, and you're just into rap. Do you know what I mean? And like then everyone's into it. And I feel like if it became cool in that sense, like, and then I feel like schools is a way for things to go viral. You look at is it Pen Game? I think they're doing the final tonight. They have a budget, so they can go on like I'm Just Bait or whatever the the YouTube clips are and pay $1,000 to be promoted or whatever it is. They're nowhere near as talented as we are, but it's frustrating because there is people out there that will love what we do.
I think you're 100% right about the platforming issue because, with all due respect, and I've seen this in the comments, man, on Twitter and everywhere, where it's, I'll just wait for it to be released on YouTube. And it's, guys, I get that that's how historically you've done it. And historically, that could be a support mechanism for Don't Flop because they made money off the YouTube videos, assuming that they hit enough views and enough advertiser, the algorithm satiates the advertisers. If you swear in a YouTube video or make an aggressive threat, it's automatically demonetized. Therefore,
I wouldn't even worry about that. I think we're even past that now. I feel like even if we had a clean battle, the channels are striked, battle rap striked.
It does. So, but the point is that, like I say, you've conditioned your audience, or the audience is not you. The audience has been conditioned for a long time to think that just by watching, liking, subscribing is enough. And it's, guys, that ship sailed 5, maybe 10 years ago. Like, it's not 2015, 16 anymore. The revenue just isn't there. But then, like you say, how do you then re-platform it? Do you repurpose the live events into... Because you've got Patreon. You've got, the ability to be able to buy stuff live. I don't know if that's pushed hard enough. I don't get if the benefits are good enough for people because it just seems like everyone just says, oh, just wait for it to come out on YouTube. And you go, yeah, but do you want there to be another event? Then you need to buy a ticket or you need to get the Patreon so that they get money for the event.
Yeah, it's so hard, man, because even Patreon kind of kills the views, but then who cares about views if we're not getting paid? They kind of need the Patreon to get the funding to do these events, so we need that almost. So, and then even the promotion. I don't know why I broke it up like that. Promotion, even the promotion for battles it's real shit at the moment. It's real, listen,
we got to talk about this. We got to talk about this because this is what I talked about with Biz's thing the other day. I just wanted to say, hey Biz, I like it. You're a fucker for doing it, but thank you for actually promoting your battle in a way that was sort of engaging for a minute.
Yeah, it's cool. At the end, how long has that battle been announced for? 5-6 months?
I've had my ticket for 2 months, so it's been a minute.
And the promo for it is him saying that he's boring. It's a cool video. I like it. But mate, the best promo that has been done for that battle is me at the start of this video. That's no joke. Now the battle's been, mate, listen, this is, like I said, this is the Don't Flop champion versus the Premier Battle champion. It's never going to happen again.
You don't have to sell me on that, brother. It's the reason I bought my ticket. I'm like, guys, this is WCW, WWF for me. This is like, holy fuck. And yeah, they don't seem to, no one seems to be steering into that element of it. It seems to still be very much...
I'm sure they're going to get all the promo going now for the final month leading up to it, right? Which is great. People get the tickets, get excited, but you can't get back those 3, 4, 5 months that we just had, and that doesn't make up for it. Listen, if you have a pay-per-view for UFC boxing, whatever, and you promote it for the whole 5 months, that one is going to sell more, make more hype than the one that did just 1 month promotion. There's 2 types of promotion for me as well. There's promotion where you're going to get people to buy tickets and the outer people. And there's also the promotion where you get people excited. Like if it was me, if I am the Don't Flop champion, if I had in an alternative world beat Gemini, right, and then I'm battling Bizzo now for the Premier Battles title, I'm getting that battle locked in with Bizzo, and then I'm saying, Briggsy, thank you, I'm performing on your platform, but from now to the end of the battle, I'm going to fucking war with you. I am going to war with Premier Battles. I am now Don't Flop, and I wear my Don't Flop hat. I'm doing interviews with I'm doing videos and podcasts with and you know, we're getting under their skin, and we're getting at Briggsy, we're getting at Shotty, we're getting at Bizzo, and we're fucking Don't Flop, and I'm coming there as Don't Flop to take your fucking title. And then and you create this fucking hype, right? And then everyone's excited because it's this big fucking war that's gonna happen now. We're 1 month away, and Bizzo's telling me how boring he is. Like, and then Gem's, you know, Gem's trying to prod him to get a reaction, but even still, like, I get that he's kind of fed up with it, but still, like, go at him, like, man, like. Yeah, but that's just them. You know, that's just, you mentioned that battle, so that's just that. But in general, like, people do a spaces and then think that's the promotion, bro. The spaces in front of about 25 people, 30 people. Half of them have already bought their tickets. Half of them are battlers. Like I said, there's two types of promotion. That promotion is not even probably selling tickets. You might sell one ticket. That promotion is about getting, when I'm on the spaces, I'm thinking maybe I can sell some extra tickets, but mostly I'm on there just to try excite the people that have already bought their tickets, right? And everything now is through Twitter. Everything is through Twitter. Like, why? Oh man, like, why are people not like last year? Jem was making skits with you know, when I was battling. Was it for me and Marlo? I think.
Yeah, it was the night shit with Shuffle and Marlo in like a whole office style sketch scene that got like 10,000 views all on its own.
So good, man. Like, we do miss the teams, because the teams, although everyone hates it when it's happening, there's battles, matchups happening that we would never have, and you know, create storyline. Where are people creating storylines? Like you said, I said I want to take the title of Crafty, and if I get it, I'm gonna go for Gemini. And then once again, I'm going for Don't Flop versus Prem. And then even when I'm battling Viz, I'm creating a storyline. Like Yunnan was battling Bizzo, and I'm creating a saying, oh, he's got robbed. Now I'm coming for your team. I'm coming for Viz, and then I'm there face to face with Shotty, and I'm creating a storyline. So maybe further down the line, I can battle Shotty. Where are these storylines? And you know what? It doesn't even have to be high. Like, what was the battle that was on the undercard for this event? It was Grazar versus LS Dean, right? I know LS Dean dropped out, but they're friends. They could have easily done like some comedy promo videos. Like, not everything has to be, I'm gonna promo it on spaces, man. Like, look at Gus Buff doing amazing things, like Anderson Burrows. Like, get onto people's podcasts, get onto people's channels, make your own funny videos, make a diss track. Like, promo is boring now. Like, and there's no storylines. It's just like, all right, let's put this battler against that battler, and that's an event. Where's the fucking storyline, man? Like,
you are coming in here with all this motherfucking sense. To take that sense and get the fuck out of here with your goddamn because you're right. Look, I've been saying this for a long time. Is part of the allure of battle rap, at least for some of the guys, to me, is the violence is too strong a word, but it's the conflict. It's that energy where I'm competing with you because I want to beat you. Okay, we're going to be mates afterwards, but right now, I'm going to prove I'm better than you, and the audience is going to feel that and resonate with it, right? At some stage, and I don't know when it happened, and I don't know when it started happening on a regular basis, you were acutely aware it was a laugh. It was everyone getting together and having a bit of fun, rather than audience members paying to see what was going to happen, invested in the outcome of it as much as they were the performance. And my question to you is that an assessment accurate as a fan versus being on the inside? And secondly, if so, when did guys start becoming averse to cutting promos on each other, to making it into more of a conflict rather than, oh, well, wait, may the best man win?
I don't know. Like, I don't even mind if it's let the best man win, but make a promo out of it and make like there's nothing wrong with having mutual respect, but then making a promo out of it. Do you know what I mean? Like you said, the Marlowe one, there was no animosity there, but they made a funny video out of it, and it could easily be happening. Like I honestly, I
mean,
don't.
basically, they with that one, right? They not only went after you for whatever reason, but then they put you back over by saying, "Oh, I can't battle him. I can't battle someone better looking than me." And it's like it builds up this odd animosity / respect that is like, do you know what? It'd be fun to see them battle now. Actually, now that I think you put the idea in people's heads that, do you know what? Actually, I would like to see that. That's a good idea.
Make a plan as well. Just like make a plan. Where's the plan? Where's you like? And it doesn't have to be so far fetched. Like it could be like, right, I'm gonna by the end of this year, I'm gonna battle this guy, or like Lunacy said, you know, when he returned against Madness, he was upset about even like the media, right, saying that they're not covering his battle, right?
Yeah.
I know he went on you and Cammy's channel. I make him right. Like I understand. Listen, I understand some channels didn't want to cover it, right, because it wasn't a battle that they're excited about. And these channels, like yourself, these are not paid channels. You're probably doing it as your hobby. You want to put on your channel what you're interested in, right? So I understand maybe they wasn't interested in that matchup, right? But there should be. So it's nothing against them, but I'm saying we're missing channels that are covering everything.
Right. So that's your point, right? And I agree with you. That's not media then, is it? A media dispassionately covers everything. They're like, hey guys, this is happening. We're going to cover it. We'll talk about it a little bit. We're not promotional arms. That's the battler's job, with all due respect.
No, well, that's what I'm saying. But that's why I'm saying it. People are not getting paid for it. It's like their personal hobby channel, right? So they just like, this interests me, so I'm putting this up. But we do need a channel that is covering everything. That covers. It's not. They take their self out of the equation, and I didn't see one Madness interview. So why is there not a Madness interview? You got people coming over. There was a couple in who battled Zen on B. Marv, was it? Marv.
Yeah,
1?
Marv 1. Yeah.
No, Marv 1 interview. There should be someone that there's beef on Twitter every fucking week. I know it's not ideal, but there should be like even a weekly roundup. This is what happened in UK Battle Rap this week, and you can easily cut up all the little tweets that were said by battlers and little beefs.
Who could do that? Sorry to cut you up, but that's a good question. But my question is, who could do that? Because, like you said, right, I did try and cover a lot of this stuff, but there are still hurt feelings about me for what I say and do, right? I'm not trusted as a media member per se, okay? Cammy's the same. I've had conversations with him. He doesn't feel like he can broach it as a journalist in terms of being dispassionate. I know London Jen feels the same. Who could be like an arbiter that could be like, hey, I trust me to cover all this shit and cover it fairly and make sure I'm putting in the effort, because I think there's enough passion for someone to do that. But whether or not
whoever wants to do it, it doesn't have to be about trust. It's whoever decides to do it. The great thing about, look, I'm not having no digs at anyone's channel, because everyone brings something different to their table. You know, like the plug does his great. He's a battler, plus he's in with Premier Battle, so he gets a lot of the face-offs. He does it kind of really professionally. You bring your own twist because the way you do it, I think you're a really great interviewer. Plus, it's almost like watching a drama when I'm watching you, because you're talking about your relationship with every battler every time. So getting some it's almost like an inside bit of like Hollyoaks going on. Jen's kind of crossed the path with America, so she kind of covers that. So everyone's got their own little thing. Cammy just has wild takes, but he's a great personality. And Battle Rap Resume just make lists and pull them out of a hat. I don't know what's going on there, but yeah, it could be literally anyone that want to do whatever they want to do. Do you know what I mean? If someone wants to cover everything, you don't need someone's trust. Just get out there and do it. But it should be someone clipping up all the beef that's happened on Twitter. I know people probably thinking that's a horrible idea, but we need someone to do that. We need someone to cover absolutely everything, interviewing everything, interviews after events, like. There's so much that we're missing out on, and yeah, I don't know. I went on a tangent there, but
I think you're onto something. But I would push back you on a little bit in terms of it. I don't think it can be anybody. I think battle rap is unique in that it is a niche culture, and following it does. You have to have a degree of competency in discussing it. I know I can't. I look at it. I look at you guys as performers and artists, right? battle rap just happens to be the way you express yourself. But if you were to then turn around and say, hey, I've got a stand-up routine or I've got a music video out, I'll talk to you about that too. I wouldn't turn around and say, yeah, but I'm only interested in the battle rap, because I look at you guys all as artists who utilize battle rap to a certain degree as promotion, as expression, whatever. I think as a battle rap cover, you need to have that battle rap centric mindset, that person that can almost follow your meta path and saying, we need to do this, we should be doing this, that sort of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but you know, I think about like, I don't always call him like MMA. Like I remember like there's like for like MMA, like UFC, there's like channel where it's just like, it's not even a person's face, but they will just put up like the latest beef on a Twitter. Then they might just put up, like, we should just have a like all the latest thing that happened on Twitter, then maybe even a video of someone's latest music video is out, just like all like news. They ain't even got to show their face, like just have up content, just non-stop UK content. Like I don't know, people used to say it was toxic at the time, but when we used to have the forum, like it just had everything, right? So you're creating storylines there. Although it was toxic, you're getting storylines out of it and matchups and exciting things and beef and whatnot. And I'm not saying that's the answer, but we were just talking about, you know,
but it was a centralized place,
stuff like that. And
yeah, it was somewhere everyone went to, so you knew where to go, and so it kind of permeated. You're right. I agree with you on that. Yeah,
I think a lot goes missing. I think there's a lot of things that happen. There's a lot of things in events that happen. A lot of battlers that come out, and we don't get interviews with them, and we don't get, I don't know, it's just like enough promotion and stuff like that. So I don't know, man. Like a battler could drop a freestyle and it's just him promoting it. Why is there not like a channel being like, oh, this guy just dropped a freestyle, or this guy just dropped a music video? And like, it's all I feel like, you know, the battlers are not doing enough promotion, or at least the correct promotion. And then even the leagues, man, like the leagues aren't doing enough promotion. Like I think Don't Flop's promotion is poor. I feel like Premier Battles are taking a step back, or not. It's not easy, because listen, there's only one or two people probably doing it and they've got their hands in every pie. But if I was to think about my ideal channel, there's not enough top 10 punchlines. There's not enough trailers. Like, do you remember when it was King of the Dot and then you have like the trailer of all the battles that are happening? Like, it's not there, isn't it? It's not there, and it just feels like we're on our way out, man. It feels like we're very close to. Like, I want to tell everyone, get your tickets for whatever event is coming up, like the big events, like the Plug, Apex, Don't Flop birthday. Get your tickets, because it might not be too long before you're like, damn, man, it's not there anymore.
Let me ask you a question, and I don't know if you might disagree with my premise on this, because for me, you kind of hit on something earlier when you were talking about younger demographics of people, i.e. new fans, right, that become fans over years. What could be done more to reach them, to entice them, to excite them about coming to events and watching? Because, and this is just my opinion, I think battle rappers and battle rap in general at the moment isn't great at articulating to a fan that doesn't care. To a person that doesn't care about battle rap, why they should care about battle rap. For me, I go, listen, man, if you like comedy, if you like competitive elements, if you like a great live atmosphere, if you like meeting guys that are talented as fuck and generous with their time, and if you like just a really unique live experience, go to battle rap. It's great. You won't, and it's actually competitively, it's like not expensive as a day out is concerned, and you get a day out of it. Now, but that's just me. I can only give word of mouth. Could promoters be doing more to sort of articulate what's great to fans that are pending, as it were?
I just think it's like, without the budget, it's hard. Like, ideally, like I was saying, like, you want to get on these Instagram pages that are posting with all these loads of followers. You want to put your post up of battle rap on there, then you're getting a large following seeing battle rap, and they haven't really seen that type of battle rap before. But their post can cost like $1,000 to put a video on there. We ain't got that budget. That can get us an event, right? But ideally, that's how you're going to get an audience. If you can afford to get $1,000, get a clip, you know, any sort of clip that's a great clip up on there, and you're going to get loads of people seeing it. Like, what the fuck is this? What is this? This is battle rap. Let me check out Premier Battle. Bang. Alternatively, you know what, we've talked about it for years, but I genuinely think we might just have to change the format. We have to do, you do like, for example, you get two battlers, you get Gemini and Bizzo, you have the battle, and then that battle travels around the country. And I think that has to happen. I think we're at the stage. Well, we talked about this for years, right? But I think it has to happen now. Like, that's the only way.
We have to talk about this because I, again, 100% agree with you. My question is, why has that been why is it just, oh yeah, we only show it once? Stand-up comedians get to tour their set. Musicians get to tour their set. Theatre companies get to tour their set. Why don't battlers get the chance to do that?
I don't have the answers, man, but I think it might be real time that we actually genuinely look into that, because it makes sense, right? Like, say that me and Gemini battle the title match, okay, then we go around, we go try to get into universities or whatever, but then you make it accessible, and as it kind of cuts out choking, right? You're not going to choke because you've performed it 20 times. You keep performing it on the road. You can alter it, make it better. And I think that's the way now how we do it. If you can get clever performers that write clever material, and when I say clever, I don't just mean intricate. I mean, clever that's going to be accessible. So maybe simple, funny rhymes, or some that are, you get the perfect combination, and then you just try go around to universities. Can I perform here or or whatever it is. But I think even, trying to go to universities and even teach them, or like art classes or whatever it is, like performance arts or whatever. When we try and show what we do, or try travel up and down the country, get new fans and do it that way. That might be the way to do it, man. I don't know. But I think it's worth having a headache thinking about it. And really, we can't keep doing what we're doing. It's going stale. That's probably the best way to do it, to be honest. It might take away the kind of, for the old school heads, it kind of takes away the element of it, of like, oh, this ain't, preparing one time. But we've got to evolve now. We've got to admit that maybe we need to start earning money now and stuff like this. And we're holding ourselves back just by kind of being true to the art almost, you know what I mean?
But there can be space for both. The fact is, by doing one doesn't eliminate the other. Do you know what I mean? But
right.
Let me bring this to you for a second, because again, you're living it, man. You're in it. You've cultivated a legacy in this scene, and I know what you're saying about it. Maybe feeling like it's tapering. I don't think it is. I think it'll always hold on because there's a passion there that people don't seem to shake. But from your perspective, how is it feeling trying to be prolific, trying to be successful in the scene at the moment? And you like you say, you felt like there's a bit of a winding down, there's a bit of a lethargy in it. Like, how does that feel for you?
That I don't want to make it about me, but obviously I'm talking about from my perspective, right? But because obviously there's people, there's a handful of people in the scene that are doing great things and they're carrying it, right? But like, even for me, I think I did like quite a great promo run for at least like a year or two. And then I thought, all right, okay, I can take a little step back this year, battle Hollow in Germany, then maybe come back at the end of the year or next year, and my stock's up, and then we come back, have a big battle. But then it's like, whilst I'm away, I'm thinking, what's happened? Like, what are people like? No one's like I said about the excitement, the promo. Like, who's creating the excitement here? Like, you've got a handful of battlers that are doing it. You've got a handful of battlers that are putting on. Like, if it wasn't for Bobby and Jem this year, am I missing anyone? Or Bizzo? Like Bizzo, Bobby and Jem? Like I mean, you're saying, okay, it'll carry on. But what happens when, Bobby had to cancel his battle, and then when Thing dropped out, Censor dropped out, he said, oh, I'm not really bothered about it, okay? So what if that feeling did carry on, right? We know, I know it only just happened, so you're feeling hurt and whatever. But if he did, run out of love for it, I know Jem's kind of, getting a bit frustrated. I'm already frustrated. Koj's, where's he gone? Then who's headlining these events then? Who's headlining these events? Like,
probably guys that are still on the fence that then get offered, either if there's no money, they're offered concessions. They're offered something where it's like, what do you want, and we'll work on it, sort of thing, and we'll come back to you when we get it. Because you're right, you can't divorce yourself from the fact that no matter what happens, however you plan this change in trajectory, right, it's still going to hang on names that you can sell to an audience off the bat, no questions asked, and then you start to build new guys. But again, you can't expect these guys to maintain the same level of enthusiasm over and over again when, like you said, y'all are competitors. You're looking for the next thing. I'm looking for the thing that excites me.
We've run out of matchups as well, like, and we can't, like I said, if the budget's not there, then we can't be battling international. So if we're just battling UK people, I mean, look, Gem's already just battled everyone in the UK. So how many matchups are left for Gemini? Bobby's probably battled everyone in the UK. Who's left for Bobby? Like,
so how would you utilize those guys? And if not in a battle capacity, but you still want to utilize them for promotional purposes or to utilize the weight of the legacy they've built, is there another way of utilizing them? Is there another way of being able to garner that following, that interest, and apply it back into the scene some way? I mean, like, take Shuff as an example. Shuff is doing Sounds Like, he does his book, right. He's done his album, he's talking about doing other adventures, he's still doing his acting and all the rest of it. Marlo's the same. Gast is doing his wrestling stuff. Shotty obviously does his wrestling promotions and all the rest of that sort of stuff, but it all seems to channel back into battle rap sooner or later, but that's on a very individual basis. There's maybe a smattering of guys that can do that. Are the promotions able to tap into that maybe? Are you able to tap into that a little bit more? Is there a way of being able to utilize those names more?
What do you mean as far as like the outside of the...
Well, to bring it back, so I mean, I'm thinking of football, man. Footballers all the time go into retirement and then they're ambassadors for the clubs, right? They can't play football anymore, obviously, but their name still holds resonance to the fans, right? I'm not saying that these guys don't battle again, but I am saying, though, that...
How can they get involved, right? Probably
their names do still excite people. You know what I mean? If you know someone's going to be at an event, even if they're not battling, I'm excited to bump into them and say, man, massive fan, really cool to meet you. I'm not saying you do meet and greets and shit like that, but you know what I mean? Like, you can still generate excitement that way.
I just don't think it's there anymore, man. I don't think there's not enough fans. Like, I don't think there's enough fans now. We have to get to the point where we're like, we're reusing the same fans. Like, I remember I got stick for going to Don't Flop. People telling me, nah, there's no new fans of Don't Flop. So we do a whole year worth of promotion, like, and then we did get new fans coming or they're fans from the channel, but they've never been to an event before. So that's the best feeling for me when people are like, oh, I've never been to an event before. So they are there, but you have to work so hard to get them. We had to do a whole year's worth of promotion to get certain fans out, right? And get them excited. So, but I think the fans that we are reaching out to with hardly any promotion, it's just the same old people, roughly. We have to find a way of getting new fans. And I think like you're saying, like bringing other battlers back or what, that's just exciting the small bunch of fans that we have at the moment. I don't think we need to now really reach out to a new set of fans. And obviously it's easier said than done, right? Like, that's the obvious, but it feels like we have to go down a new avenue now. Like I said, if it's going to be touring the country and doing the same battle again, or maybe even if we just start doing open freestyle battle, that's a big thing as well. I think a lot of people, like the higher names, they protect their stock a bit too much now. Like, we're in an era now where it's like, okay, we've been doing it for so long now, like, we know who's good. You're always gonna get your battle booked. Don't be scared to now put your neck on the line. Like, the battle dropped out for No Lose Chat, and I put up the status like, okay, your battle dropped out. Do you want to do a one rounder? Now, the battler's a new battler, so I don't blame him for not taking it. But anyone could have jumped at that and said, okay, then let's go for one rounder. Like, why is no one putting the neck on the line? No one, like, I think we've got to start doing these. Maybe even just like, even at events, right? Battle rap events, yeah. When does a freestyle battle ever kick off? When does anyone done, like, there's so many battlers, when does anyone say, oh, get that camera, let's do a freestyle battle? Things like that can create a bit of excitement, or I think maybe even things like that, just to create some excitement again, or we could easily be going almost like Oh my God, I'm gonna get rinsed for this. Almost like busking, like going on the streets and be like, let's freestyle battle and just start creating a crowd of people that can like what's going on here? And then just like, I don't know, but something like that has to happen where we're creating a buzz and we get people that don't know anything about battle rap coming in like, oh, what is this? Oh, I want to watch this now. Like,
let me ask you.
But it needs to be some sort of touring. I think we need to start touring. We need to start hitting colleges and universities and schools or whatever it is.
Let me ask you something. He really has taken over, and I fucking love it.
Yeah,
Let me ask you something. Let me ask you something. And I don't know if you know the answer to this question, but I'm interested to hear your thoughts. Are you alone in feeling like this? Are you alone in thinking this way? Is this just your head screwed on where it's like, from a promotional perspective, you've always refused to stand and kind of let, like you were saying, like you're prepared to cultivate your own narrative. You're not afraid to promote yourself how you want to be seen rather than in the scope of the scene, right? Are you just alone in that, or are there other people that feel mildly similar, but they don't articulate, they don't say anything for one reason or another?
I don't feel I'm alone. Like, what do you mean? Is in promoting myself? You mean like?
Well, I mean, like you again, man. And I'm not just saying this to kiss your ass. I've said this on other shows. I'm struggling to think of something so far where I disagree with you, because I, like you, don't want to see battle rap forever as a niche. I think the talent that you guys possess is fucking immense, and it could transfer tomorrow given the correct exposure. But for some reason, it isn't resonating for one reason or another, and I don't think it's through lack of trying with the execution of the talent. I think you're 100% right in terms of how it's actually being presented to people. There's a disconnect somewhere along the line.
But you know, no, I'm not alone in thinking like this, but I think just no one has the answer. No one knows. Like I said at the beginning, like there's so much talent here. And if man, I could speak to so many battlers and they're like, I know, but then what do we do? Like, and I think that's even why we're having this conversation now. I told you I don't have any answers, but maybe from this interview, maybe we're gonna people start asking questions or start putting their thoughts together. Maybe something can spark. And man, there's so many talented people here, man. We have some of the best writers in the UK, like some of the best performers, like in the world. So it's like, I'm not alone. I'm not alone in feeling like this, but I think other people are just like, well, I don't know what else to do. This is all I know. So I'm just gonna wait for the next battle, or, you know, but.
Is that really the case though? Because again, I feel like y'all are creative, not just in words. Again, I've seen some of the projects that have come out from some of the battlers, and you got your music video that dropped, right? Listening to that, the execution of that was brilliant. And it's one of those things where not everyone can emulate that. That's a talent. That's something ingrained in a lot of the battlers. So it's difficult for me to think that if applied properly, there can't be a solution, because it only takes one person to break through, and then everyone else can kind of amass through the breach. But like, I'm wondering why everyone is content to keep things, because like the Taking Battles live thing, I couldn't agree with you more. Brilliant idea. Recontextualizing the platforms and maybe, you know, trying to present it to a different audience. Great idea. But why is no one even trying it? Why is it not even being attempted?
That's what I'm saying. It almost feels like we need that one genius guy to come along and just be like, this is how it's gonna go, guys. Do you know what I mean? Like you know, it's almost like you said, it's almost like Dana with the UFC. Everyone thought, you know, well, this is too brutal. These people just punch each other in the face, and all of a sudden, before you know it, it's this big thing because someone believed in it and knew how it's going to work and stuff. Like, I don't know what it would take, but I don't know. And it's hard. Listen, when Premier Battles have got their like I said, there's no budget, right? There's no funding, so you know they've already got their plan. Like, this is how my plan. That the plan is we're gonna, you know. And I'm sure Don't Flop have got their plan as well. So then it's like, I don't know, it's a lot of work to then. I honestly, I don't know, but I think, you know what it is? I think I don't want to say we're bad business, because like, you know, something like Briggsy can do great business and stuff. But as far as the whole thing, I think we're not great businessmen, right? We're fucking rappers. And I think it's going to take a real savvy business mind to say, all right, look, we're going to go into these colleges, we're going to speak to these people, we're going to do it this way, we're going to get in front of this many audiences, we're going to get this company, and we're going to get this funding, or we're going to go to the government and we're going to get this. But I don't think anyone here really knows what, I mean, I don't want to be disrespectful, I feel like we don't really know what we're doing in that sense, whereas we need someone who is sharp and just says, look, we've got something here, this is how we're going to make it big or bigger.
Can I suggest another thing then? And again, this is off the top, okay? Sorry for the reference. I feel old saying it. Anyways, the youthful exuberance of the 2013s to the 16s, right? The don't flop years where they were all flying by the seat of their pants. Barely any real idea of what they were doing beyond the fact that whatever they were doing was working, right?
Right.
There's the saying, experience teaches you what not to do.
Right.
You are dealing with guys that have been through that era and are now off the back end of it. And I've been in conversations like what you're trying to have, right? Where you're saying, well, why don't we try this? Why can't we do this? And I've always felt the people you end up having those conversations with end up being the people that go, well, yeah, but, and yeah, I'm not sure. And you go, right, if this was 10 years ago, would this have been a conversation, or would you have gone, fuck it, let's try it, see what happens? Is there that now? I mean, I'm not insinuating that there is, but
there is also that, right? So we got, a lot of people, growing up now, they've got families. Can they just go out and try something different again? Do you know what I mean? So there's that as well. People got their full-time job now, and they got their kids to feed, and it takes the right people. And
I mean, is it a case that a new generation has to take it? Maybe it's not on you guys. Maybe it is a case of the next generation has to start picking up the fucking reins and interpreting it for what it is and producing its own. Like, every generation has its own interpretation. MTV begot Channel U, begot fucking YouTube, begot Instagram, right? They're all the same being under a different guise, but it still had to come along. It's not enough for the guys at MTV to be still doing shit 30 years later and expecting it to work in the same way that we're 10 years down the line from the heyday of Don't Flop. 10 years. You can't expect the same things to be working from 10 years ago when the landscape of platforms are so different. You guys are different because, like you said, your expectations are different. It's not when you started and you were hungry for battles because you're like, I need to prove myself. I need to battle everyone, batter everyone, prove I'm the best, and then it's me calling the shots. You've done it. You're there. You were the champ. You don't answer to fucking anyone as far as a reputation is concerned. And a lot of the guys are like that. But where are the hungry guys? Where are the new ones? Where are the exciting guys that are saying, yeah, Quill, you were good in your day, mate, but I'm new and I'm better. And you're like, right, fucking fresh meat. Right, let's see. Excitement, vibrancy, youth, energy, that sort of shit that really takes and injects new life into a scene. And yeah, you get the old heads going, oh, that's not how it's done. And the youth going, watch us. Just like Don't Flop did back in the day with the YouTube channel.
Yeah, well, that will go down again to talent and promotion, right? Because the best that can come from that is we get some more headliners, some more people with star power, right? Which we're lacking at the moment. So, but as far as taking a company and doing something different with it, I don't think that's down to the new battlers and stuff. I think it'll come down to, like I said, someone who's business savvy, someone who's looking at it from a fresh perspective and says, right, this is how I'm going to make my league work or make my business work with you guys. I don't think it's going to be like some new battler, or unless the only thing other than I could think of is like if somehow like a big music artist or someone famous got became a fan and then started promoting us. That's the only way I could see it happening. Otherwise, it's going to take someone with a fresh perspective on business to say this is how we're going to do it. At the moment, as we're going, I don't see it anything changing if we're just going to keep doing events, posting it on YouTube, and I don't see it. There's not enough superstars coming through. Who's the next guy that's got a bit of X factor about them? Like, who's the next Shotty Horror? Like, who's the next Shotty Horror?
Okay, I'm gonna prove my point with my. I went on a 5-minute rant there. I appreciate it, and Quill's supposed to have taken over, so it's not much of a takeover if I cut him off and ran for 5 minutes. But hear me out on this, okay? Because we both share a kinship in one aspect. We were Arsenal fans when the Cronkies were using us as a personal piggy bank, selling our best fucking player every season 10 years in a row while not investing anything, and the fans were constantly going, if this doesn't change, we're fucked permanently. Now, luckily, a few smart investments, the right players come through, the right leader comes in, sets a standard, that standard becomes the base level, and everyone then aspires to it, and suddenly, we're title contenders again, world beaters again. I'm not saying it's an exact application, but I feel like we're at that point where, again, you're right, there's a malaise. There's kind of an apathy to the situation that everyone kind of feels like, yeah, but what are you going to do? It really is going to require a bit of faith in a new direction, really. I think you're right. I think it is a thing where it's like, right, we got to try something, guys. Who can we entrust with that direction? Who can we entrust to see this vision through, whatever the vision is? And just give it some time and let it gestate. If it is touring a set of battles or a card that you then tour across the country at university campuses, smaller clubs, you can make it viable, but then generate that excitement that this is interesting, this is new, this is different. You then garner interest. But like, I guess what you would say is, how do you get the traction? How do you build it? How do you finance it? You know, how do you get it on the road with guys that are not looking to be away from their families or their jobs or shit like that for a prolonged period of time? It is a hard question to wrestle with. That's for definite.
Well, I mean, yeah, you're not gonna answer that here, innit? You're gonna have to put your head down. Like I said, I think it's gonna take a lot of thinking. It might even take, get funding from the government, startup business or whatever it is, like someone has to think like, how is it viable? Like I said, I've always said it in this interview, I don't know. I don't have the answers, but I just think there's a lot of questions, and I feel like a lot of these questions people talk about, but we haven't really made it, like we haven't really discussed it, and if I'm just worried, innit? Because I'm worried because I'm a big fan of this. I'm passionate about this, and that's going away. I'm wondering, like, what am I excited about? Yeah, I'm excited about a battle, but as far as long term, what am I excited about? What am I excited about? And I feel like, I don't know, man. It feels like for me personally, it just feels like we're in dangerous territory right now. It feels like we're in a place where we're gonna lose most of our top tier battlers soon, because they're gonna feel like that as well. When you don't get the views, the excitement seems like it's going, and I feel like things need to change. We need something refreshing, man. We need to shake it up a bit.
Let me ask you a question.
I could be wrong, because last time I felt like that, I kind of, listen, when Don't Flop kind of had their flop in that, right? I was like, I'm done with battling. I'm gonna do Don't Flop Shropshire and just battle for fun now. I'm just gonna go on trips and just have fun, right? I did one battle and I was like, this is not who I am. Like, I battled Crafty in a 1 round bar. I battled Twisted Pennies and ended up nearly in a fight. I was like, yo, this is not me, man. I love my craft too much. But I was like, Don't Flop is battle rap is dead. And then I remember Celesta, actually, who I didn't even know he was at the time, was like, listen, man, you can't be tweeting like this. Your opinion matters, yeah? And I was like, oh, okay. And then came back and started understanding Premier battles. And then all of a sudden, like, the last couple of years is some of the best years I've had in UK battle rap. We've had some of the best battles we've had. We might not have sold out the Ministry of Sound, but we've had some great successful events. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe around the corner there's greater things, and but I just get that feeling that we're in troubling times at the moment.
Here's a question that's going to test my editing skills, because I have a feeling this question ain't making it into the final edit. But let's test the waters anyway. Okay, let's say, for the sake of argument, Mr. Battler Man wants to hold Mr. Media Man accountable for a second. Okay, I'm hearing what you're saying, and I'm saying, right, okay. It sounds like there's a bit of an inquest that needs to be happening here. Questions need to be asked of guys that can give the answers, that have the ability to be able to start putting things in motion. Who should I be talking to then to put these questions to them and hold their feet to the fire a little bit? And what should I be asking them? What are the things that I should be instigating as a media member to say, hey, listen, I may not speak for the fans, but I have their interests at heart when I ask you, why is your promotion not doing what it could be doing? Why are your battlers not promoting themselves in a way that they... Not necessarily those questions, but if you're like, Lorne, as a media member, man, this is what you should be doing to get people who have the power and have the sway and have the clout to actually get shit done. Or to say, well, okay, we need answers. Like you say, there are questions. Maybe we don't like the answers to those questions, but they have to be asked anyway. Who should I be talking to?
Well, it's hard because I feel like, listen, if you're gonna say to Briggsy, why is there not Briggsy's a man who's got a family and he's working. He's a working man, and he's doing this on the side. So it's like, what? We're not. This is what I'm saying. We're not some huge thing where we've got a team of 10 people, and then we can say, all right, why have we not got this? Why have we not got that? We don't like. We're a small community out here We're a small community that have got a great thing. That's what it is. So I can answer that question. I don't even know the ins and outs, but I'm pretty sure if you was to ask Briggsy why, maybe, I don't know, why is Prem not done promo for the last 3 months, or why is there not like a trailer, or why are battlers? They're gonna say because working, I've got 2-3 kids to feed, and then I've got to go to work, and then I've got to put this battle together, and then I have got to do the face-off, so I have got to do the promo that I am going to do, what I have done. Like, what, now you want me to go on tour around the country? Like, the resources ain't there. Do you know what I mean? So it's like I said, I'm not having to go at anyone at all. I fully understand why we're in this position, but it's almost like a cry for help for someone that can help us, or for us to get together and be like, okay, this is how maybe we can do it, or maybe I can help. Or it might even take some people that love it so much as a passion, they reach out to Briggs and say, listen, man, can I give you some hands to help for free, man? Let me edit something for you, or maybe make some promo, and you can just tag me in the video that you upload on your channel or something. I don't know, but I mean, as far as who to ask, I don't know. You can ask battlers why they're not. You'll have to ask the battlers why they're not promoting it, or ask the other channels why they, ask the other media people why they're not interviewing certain people, or what. But if I was to guess, it's like there's not enough people here. Like I said, people got families and stuff, and it's like, how big? There's not enough money to create a team to do this. Like, I'm sure if Briggsy had the funds, he'll be saying, listen, let me get 2 people, and we don't. We're fighting an impossible war here. Do you know what I mean? And in America, there's people that will fund this shit, man. Like, they'll fund it with grands. We don't seem to have that here, or someone from America doesn't seem to want to help us here. They don't find that, so we haven't been lucky in that sense, or we was lucky and we ruined it years ago. So,
and on that cheery note, I'm gonna say, look, here's the thing. I'm with you, and I've been banging on about this for a while, and I'm glad to. And again, I was excited to have this conversation. If no other reason than I think you're right. I think 2 people having an open conversation about it, and even someone just going, no, fuck, I don't fucking agree with you. No, okay, cool. Now we have a conversation. Let's talk about it. Let's hammer it out, find out where the consensus is, find out where we disagree. It can start there, okay? So long as it starts, so long as we don't just let it, like you say, just kind of roll onto a malaise. But time will tell if we're just yelling at clouds as old men, or if it genuinely changes. But in the interim period, you are still very much alive and kicking. I know that we were talking before we recorded a while back, and you said, hey, don't really have a lot to promote right now, but while we're here, is there anything you want people to be aware of so I can point them in your direction, so at the very least the Quill gravy chain can keep going?
Yeah, you go to my YouTube channel, Quill Tube, and you can see on the playlist all my battles. You can watch my freestyle, my music video dropped on there. Quill versus Hollow the Don just dropped, so that's a Mazzolini, isn't it? Quill versus Hollow the Don, who would have thought? And I'm talking about Battle Rap's dead. So go check that out on Don't Let the Label You. But yeah, other than that, I'm just gonna well, I'll probably be hiding now. I'll probably be a meme now. I'm probably getting clipped up. I know Briggs is gonna give me a load of stick, and people are gonna say, "Oh, this and that." So maybe I'll go into hiding for now. So yeah, go subscribe to my YouTube channel if you can, and subs to this one. Don't be watching this without subscribing. Come on, guys.